Let's get miniature! We made a miniature world. Wow, your friend! No more. Where's that super armor killing machine again? Hey, Roderick, great to see you, man! Oh, well, yeah, you're just a piece of plastic. I know. It's cool.
The creepy crawly critter popped out of the slimy nest. Today we're gonna give goosebumps to your players as we make these slimy oozing bug nests.
For the actual hole for the bug holes, we're going to use these toilet paper cores, but it's too big, so I want to make the width of this smaller. So we're going to kind of roll this up a bit and just make it so it'll curl up easier. And then we're going to decide kind of the size of the hole, which will be about 1 inch, right? And then we're going to glue that with our Elmer's glue, because that'll give us some work time. If we use the hot glue, it will, almost instantly bond, and we want to have a little bit of time to get the right size with this. So the Elmer's glue gives us that little bit of work time that we need. But it still bonds really quickly to paper. You just have to hold it a little bit and you'll have your hole ready. So there we go. That's going to be the core of our bug hole, as it was the core of the toilet paper. So we have our hole there. It's not very exciting. We're going to make the mound that surrounds the hole, and we're going to use my tried and true paper towel and toilet paper method, where we soak it in a solution of 50% water, 50% white glue, and that gives us a rock hard finish right when it dries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use toilet paper first and wrap the core in a little bit, and I'm going to do that because I want to get a little bit of the toilet paper into the center, right? So I'm going to kind of pull that out, and that'll give me a little bit of texture to start on the lip there in the center. Once you wet this stuff down, it becomes putty in your hands, and I'm just going to use a brush and push it against the side there. I need some more bulk with this, so that's why I'm going to use the paper towels. They're heavier than the toilet paper, of course. Just wet it with water, and I'm just going to wrap it around the core. That'll start to build out my bulk. And you want to do enough sheets till you're satisfied that the bulk of the mound is sufficient for the hole. I'm just wetting this right now, but once I get it all set up, on there, that's when I'll add the 50% water, 50% white glue. Start adding toilet paper, and that helps to smooth it out, because the paper towels are like rough. Think of the paper towels as doing the strokes with the big brush, and then the toilet paper doing brush strokes with the smaller brush, doing the details. Sometimes it's easier working with a wet brush because it can stick to your fingers when you're sculpting it with the toilet paper, since it's so thin. So sometimes it works better with a wet brush if you're having a problem with it sticking to your fingers. Now we'll just let that dry. Once it's dry, I just glued that to some thin cardboard, and that'll be the base. And I'm just going to cut the excess off. So our mound and base are all dry, but I'm going to show you a little trick to hide the mini corrugations on this thin cardboard. This doesn't work on regular cardboard. The corrugations are too big, but on this thin cardboard it works great. So if you squirt the glue into those corrugations, it will actually dry and fill those holes, so you won't see the corrugations in that cardboard. The next step is going to require
pure baking soda.
We're going to combine our baking soda with 50% water, 50% white glue, our 50-50 solution, and that will give us a nice paste that we can use to put on the mounds, because what we want is slime coming out of the mounds, and this paste will do fantastic for that. And not only that, it'll dry rock hard. If you're mixing and it's a little too thin, just add more baking soda until you get that nice paste consistency. To apply it, I'm just going to use an old brush and kind of drag it down, right? And you can see what I do here is I kind of twirl the brush, and that helps get the paste off onto the model. Because I want the paste to actually be raised, okay? I don't want it to be too flat. If you just paint it on, it'll be too flat. So what you're trying to do is apply this so you have some raised paste like that. Make sure you get the edges of the hole there. And you can actually take the paste down into the hole. Drag the brush along some already established drips so that you have even longer goo coming out, glue strands. And then I'm going to take a toothpick and kind of just drag it through the paste. And that'll break it up a little bit and give it an interesting texture. Like strands of slime coming down. Ugh. Yucky. My paste is all dried nice and solid, but for an extra secure bond, I'm going to put some white glue on this and spread it out over the paste. To start the painting process, I'm going to use Mississippi mud, which is a nice kind of neutral, icky. I like it. It's kind of an icky color, not very flattering, and I think that's going to be perfect on these mounds. I'm dry brushing with a light mushroom to bring out that detail in the mound. I want the mounds to have a glossy, unsettling look, so I'm going to use this espresso brown, mix it with floor wax, and then just a little bit of dab of black to darken it up a bit. And this will give a nice kind of gloss to the mound itself. And I think that's pretty cool because you know how bugs will use like their spit or spittle to like make mounds and that kind of thing. So I think this will be a really neat effect. Just going to paint my mixture I concocted onto the mound itself, and I'm just hitting the areas that have the Mississippi mud on them. I like how this wash works well with the toilet paper technique, you know, the little folds and that kind of thing when you squish it onto the mound, and it makes that texture that really pops out when you put this wash on. I want kind of a translucent effect on the slime coming out of the mounds, and I'm going to use this gel blending medium. And essentially, it's like a glazing medium that thins the paint, but keeps the integrity of the acrylic mix. So it's really nice for this kind of thing because you want to see the kind of white that I left on the piece coming through it. So it won't be a really heavy, dark coat. It'll be a translucent coat. So I'm going to use this gel blending medium to thin these colors, right? It doesn't make them watery, it just thins them. So I'm going to use the sage and the seagrass, and that'll be, I'm not going to mix it up, but I'm going to kind of do areas of the different two colors, so it'll give some variation to the color and won't just be one straight color. But that will entail being careful that you don't mix it too much, so the colors just don't blend together. As I apply the paint here with the blending medium, you can see that it's very thin and the white is showing through. The translucency of the paint is really awesome. And you know, I've got the two colors going there, so I'm kind of mixing them a bit to get some variation in the green. But look how great that looks. You can really see how thin that paint is. But the benefit of this is it doesn't break down the paint like water will. Actually, it just thins the paint. Actually, the binder is still effective in the paint. It's just, you know, making it thinner so the color is more, well, translucent. So yeah, I think that's a really cool effect, and it looks great for this project because it's just like this slimy muck coming out. And we'll have to see if one of your player characters is brave enough to go down one of these slimy holes themselves. Wow, so gross. I am really loving this. The player's going to be like, ew, when I put this out on the table. As the effect dries, it has this matte finish, and that's not going to work for me. So I'm going to use this triple thick glaze, which will, bring out the slime look to this. See how gross that is? That's going to be nice when this dries and gives it that shiny, slimy look. And this is what our completed bug mound looks like. So gross. Let's go to our table and look at it with some other models to see scale and size comparison and that kind of thing. How great it looks for these creepy bug encounters.
I want to bug you one last time. Okay. Make sure to ding the bell if you want to get notified of new content. Also, like, share, and subscribe. Help spread the word of the DM's Craft to get more people into this fun hobby. Also, I want to really thank my Patreon supporters who help me to bring these videos. If you join Patreon, you generally get the videos a week early. Also, other news announcements and that kind of thing. And you're helping me to bring these videos to the community. So thank you so much, Patreon supporters. And I really want to thank my Master Crafter supporters for helping to bring these videos to the community. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you all. And don't forget, go forth and craft. See you next time.